Welcome back to the Kosi Arsenal channel. My name is Kosi. Welcome back to a brand new video. It is time to win for Arsenal. The season is all but done. We are remaining with one game, a trip away to Southampton in this week, and that would wrap up our campaign. But of course, in terms of playing at home, Arsenal are done. We have played against Newcastle, beaten them a goal to nil in our home kit, which a few people have actually told me that's a good kit. And I completely, totally, whatever you want to call it, disagree. It is not a great kit. But what do I know about kits? I don't know anything about design. I just go to the shop, buy a kit, and then move on with life. But the important part of this season and the important part of that game, first and foremost, Arsenal qualified for the Champions League officially yesterday. Congratulations to Mikel Arteta and his men. I think that is the only thing that there was for us to fight in that game. And I think there was a bit of a dogfight against Newcastle. Newcastle really came in with a lot of punches. They wanted it more than us, but Arsenal were the better side. And we ended up winning the game a goal to nil by Declan Rice. By the way, we've got to talk about Declan Rice. What a season he's actually had in Arsenal colours this campaign. What a season he's actually put up. The numbers ever since he joined Arsenal have been remarkable, and his development has been absolutely astonishing. So Declan Rice, once again, onto the score sheet. Talk to me, is it the player of the season at Arsenal for you? I would have David Raya ahead of him. I would have Gabriel Magalhaes ahead of him as well. But talk to me in the comment box below. Do you think that Declan Rice is player of the season at Arsenal? I want your honest opinions about that right there. But I want us to dive into the post-match comments, because that is where the real focus is. First and foremost, Mikel Arteta talking about what's going to happen after the season. And he said, right now it's time for us to just enjoy the remainder of the season, which is Southampton basically. Go to the beach and hope that top management and the people on the board are going to do whatever it takes. Actually, he doesn't say and hope, but he says he knows the people on top of the board are actually going to do what they have to do this summer. And that is reinvesting in the squad and cleaning some players out as well. Those are the same comments that were put forward by Josh Kroenke yesterday in the final message from the Arsenal board to the fans, again saying that Arsenal will invest. We are going to have a couple of players coming. We are going to be behind the project, and we are expecting to see a big summer this season. Declan Rice, once again, another person who's been talking about the season, of course next season as well, and he says that we're gonna lose a couple of players, but we hope a couple of reinforcements are gonna come and this team is gonna be better, and next season we're gonna be fighting for trophies. Now listen, I think Mikel Arteta is going to be backed, right? And I hope that Mikel is backed in the right areas, but also hope that Mikel Arteta has written a full season report, and that report is right. And that report is not missing a creative midfielder, and that report is not missing a forward, forward reinforcements, especially in terms of a striker and in terms of a winger. I hope that report is right, because what I saw against Newcastle yesterday was a team that was absolutely out of ideas on how you create chances and for whom you create chances. And those are two of the biggest problems at Arsenal. And I think it was the Athletic that actually echoed my ideas very well. After PSG, they wrote an article and they said Arsenal's problems are not just about not having a striker. It's about that creativity, that whole creativity in different parts of the area of the pitch, as we know it, is lacking. Because if you think about modern football and modern teams, let's say PSG, because PSG are the team that have totally outdone Arsenal this season, I would say, and maybe a Bournemouth, and maybe a Brighton. If you think about these three teams and you think about the areas in which they create chances, think about Brighton. They've got fullbacks like the likes of Estupiñán that are really going to create good chances on the right-hand side or on the left-hand side, depending on where he plays. PSG, the same with Nuno Mendes and Achraf Hakimi, and Bournemouth, the same with Milos Kerkez on the left. You think about the midfield, and it's no doubt. We played PSG. We know how creative Vitinha is. We know how creative they were against us. You look at Bournemouth, very creative in the midfield with the likes of Kluivert in there. You look at Brighton. Brighton is a joke in terms of creating chances. Their wings are working. Their midfield is operational. But when it comes to Arsenal, we always blame one or two players. We always find that single player to blame. But the truth is that this team as a whole is not creating chances. Where are the chances from our fullbacks? Where are the chances from our wingers? Where are the chances from our midfield? It's nothing. It's not there, right? The cutback from Martin Odegaard is a beautiful cutback, and the shot by Declan Rice is a nice hit. But we need more of that. We need to see more of that. We need to see Odegaard do it, then Saka do it, then White do it, then bring in a player like Xavi Simons who can actually thread balls through, and then bring in a player like Gyokerez who can actually run onto those games. Now, I liked the general message after the last game at the Emirates. I liked the general message because the general message this campaign has been, we are going to go again next campaign. It hasn't been the worst season in Arsenal history. It is not close to the bad seasons that we suffered under Arsene Wenger and the bad season that we suffered under Unai Emery. It's not close to that. It's just that the expectations of this campaign have been so high, and therefore they've been undermet, right? No one would have cared if Arsenal lost the trophy. Oh, we would have cared, honestly. But if had Arsenal lost the trophy 1 point behind Liverpool, that would have been a massive try. But about 10 points behind Liverpool, that is so far away. And for us to go to the the semi-finals of the Carabao Cup against Newcastle, we should have won, honestly. And for us to go against PSG in the semi-finals of the Champions League, we should have won. So the expectations of this campaign were so high, they were just not met. And Mikel Arteta has explained, we'll do a review on the team this week. But he's talked about red cards, talked about injuries, and I agree with him, but it's so much more, right? And that is why this season and this summer, it's going to be important that Arsenal don't get it wrong. We must get it right. It is so important that we get an impeccable summer. Otherwise, we are going to go with the same excuses, with the same reasons come next season. So Mikel Arteta has said it's time for us to win, and we're now going to relax and then refresh and come back next season. And next season, it's going to be about what the board does, but also what do we do as a team. And I think we have already seen willingness clearly communicated by the Arsenal board. We have already seen willingness clearly communicated by whoever is in our Arsenal. And the first message was when the board decided to bring in a new sporting director in Andrea Bata. Now, anyone would say, a new sporting director, how is that really a message? But when you bring in one of the best guys in his position, in Andrea Bata, and you give him the keys to a very important summer, it shows that Arsenal have decided to go all in and see what happens. And that is what we should have done 5 years ago. That is what we should have done 10 years ago. We should have done this when Arsene Wenger was there. Because bloody hell, that man really deserved to win some trophies. That man deserved some backing. But of course, it didn't happen. He left. And after he left, Arsenal have rebuilt into one of the best projects around Europe. So for me, this is what I think, right? If Mikel Arteta gets Victor Gyokerez, there's a big chance that we will get him 65 million euros. Fabrizio's been talking about it, that as well, again, and he was saying, look, there's a lot of talk that Gyokerez is this and that, but the truth is that he's going to leave, and 65 million euros is just enough to get the deal done, as a couple of big outlets want him, and they're trying to sign him. So Victor Gyokerez gets him for Mikel Arteta, 65 million euros. That is a very good deal. He wants Nico Williams, 51 million pounds. Get him that deal. It's about 60 million euros. Get him that deal, right? Get him the players that he actually wants. We are hearing Brand Bemo. That will be in the next chapter, next video coming up. make sure you tune in. Yes, if Arsenal really want Brian Bemo, go and do it as well. If Mikel really wants Jean Garcia, go and do it. Because we need to go through this summer and leave Mikel Arteta with absolutely zero excuses on why not to win. Because that is what has to happen. We have to leave Mikel Arteta with zero excuses on why not to win. Because this season he said injuries, right? He said he didn't have options. He said red cards. Can we give him a summer where he asks for players, he gets them, he already has one of the best teams in the Premier League, and next season, if he doesn't deliver, sack him by Christmas? Honestly. Because for me and everyone out there, I know there are few Arsenal diehards right here, but the truth is that this Arsenal team has got to deliver now. Honestly. Hit the like button, subscribe to the channel as well. The season is over, and I just feel like I'll do some simple match reaction and talk about what we expect of Arsenal. I'm going to be doing the Arsenal plan. It should be coming out very, very quickly on the channel. And obviously, more of the stories will be coming your way. See you soon.